Another day in court for Mr. Godwin Emefiele. The day's proceedings is a bit delayed, but not lacking the fireworks expected of such trial. It is characterized by a couple of rulings for and against, beginning with the verdict by Justice Rahman Oshodi that the trial proceedings will be conducted in the public glare. Then, the observation of the counsel for the first defendant, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, Olalekan Ojo, a senior advocate of Nigeria, on a purported extrajudicial statement and the need for the prosecution team to provide the defense team with an additional proof of evidence which the court grants. But the real contentious issue of the day is that of the jurisdiction of the court to try Mr. Emefiele, being a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, a federal parastatal, with the defense team praying the court to, as a matter of urgency, rule on that objection before delving into the substantive matter of abuse of office and corruption that Emefiele has been charged with. The prosecution counsel urges the court not to grant the defense team's prayers, as according to him, it amounts to an attempt to stop the trial midway, which is unconstitutional. Justice Oshodi settles the matter by deferring the ruling on jurisdiction to the final judgment stage of the trial. Then time for the second witness in the case to mount the witness box. He is a former director of information and communication technology at the Central Bank who retired in April 2019 after putting 8 years in service. He is led in evidence by the prosecution counsel to tell the court on how, on 2 occasions, he took delivery of envelopes containing different sums of money, $400,000 and another $200,000, which he describes as gratification for Mr. Emefiele by 2 of the CBN vendors. He says the first tranche was picked up by one of Mr. Emefiele's assistants for onward delivery, while he personally handed over the sum of $200,000 to the former governor at the CBN Lagos office. On cross-examination by Olalekan Ojo, the witness admits that he wasn't running errands for Mr. Emefiele while working at the CBN, though there was a time he directly reported to him. An attempt to assert that the witness was aiding and abetting crime through his admittance of collecting money purportedly on behalf of Mr. Emefiele is objected to by the prosecution counsel, but the judge overrules the objection and the witness admits that he was aiding the commission of crime but did so under duress because, according to him, under Mr. Emefiele, we were all faced with tremendous pressure to bend the rules, in quotes. The proceedings gradually comes to an end, with the court granting the defense counsel's request to pause the cross-examination and continue at the next day of trial. The defense team also has another request, which is a prayer to the court seeking an extension of its order releasing the first defendant to his lawyers owing to their inability to perfect the bail conditions yet. Justice Oshodi then grants the prayer by extending the order to 17th May 2024, directing his counsel to file an affidavit in that regard within the next 24 hours.
We were humbly of the view that a jurisdictional challenge of that nature, which was not a challenge to the validity of the charge or information, should be determined first. Furthermore, we are saying that the alleged acts, that is, award of contracts, forex contracts, award of allocation of forex, that it is not a crime. It's not defined as a crime in any written law in Nigeria. However, His Lordship, in the exercise of his discretion, rejected our application that motion challenging jurisdiction be taken and pronounced upon first, and held that application challenging the jurisdiction of the High Court of Lagos State to entertain this case will be taken together with the substantive case.
Proceedings are then adjourned to the 3rd, 9th, and 17th of May for continuation of trial. Tokunbo Oyetunji, Arise News, Lagos.